a shadow falls on sanctuary, the Manhattan Hotel subpoena, and the weaponization of immigration enforcement. The quiet hum of Manhattan's bustling life masks a simmering tension, a stark confrontation playing out between the city's welcoming embrace and the harsh realities of a nation grappling with immigration. At the heart of this conflict lies a single, chilling document, a federal subpoena issued to a Manhattan hotel, a document that has ignited a firestorm of controversy and exposed the raw political undercurrents shaping the nation's immigration policy. The subpoena, a copy of which was obtained by The Guardian, demands a seemingly innocuous piece of information: a list of full names of aliens currently residing at the hotel. This seemingly simple request, however, is anything but. It represents a direct escalation in the Trump administration's relentless assault on New York City's efforts to provide sanctuary to asylum seekers, a targeted strike aimed at the very heart of the city's humanitarian response. The hotel in question is one of several prominent Midtown Manhattan establishments contracted by New York City to house the influx of migrants seeking refuge within its borders. A program launched in 2022 in response to the overwhelming surge of asylum seekers. These hotels, initially seen as a temporary solution to a humanitarian crisis, rapidly became flashpoints of intense political debate. Right-wing media outlets seized on the situation, fueling a national narrative of chaos and uncontrolled immigration, a narrative that deliberately ignores the complexities of the situation and the human stories behind the numbers. The backlash was immediate and fierce. Local communities voiced concerns about the strain on resources, while national media outlets amplified the anxieties, framing the issue through a lens of fear and division. This manufactured crisis created fertile ground for the current administration to capitalize upon, using the asylum seekers as political pawns in a broader campaign to demonize immigration. The subpoena itself is far from an isolated incident. It's a stark illustration of the Trump administration's increasingly aggressive approach to immigration enforcement, a strategy characterized by a blatant disregard for due process and a ruthless pursuit of its draconian agenda. This aggressive tactic underscores a worrying trend: the weaponization of the Department of Justice to target cities and states that dare to challenge the administration's hardline stance on immigration. Murad Awade, president of the New York Immigration Coalition, rightly condemned the subpoena, denouncing it as a blatant example of the Trump administration's calculated strategy to weaponize the Department of Justice against New York City residents. His words ring with the frustration and outrage felt by many. "Instead of wasting government time and resources," he stated, "we should be thinking of how we improve the daily lives of all the people who call this country home." The targeting of the Manhattan Hotel is not a random act. It is a strategic move designed to send a chilling message. It's a blatant attempt to intimidate and discourage cities from offering sanctuary to those fleeing persecution and violence. The administration's actions are not about enforcing laws, they are about power, about asserting dominance and crushing dissent. The subpoena is a symbol of this power play, a stark reminder of the chilling effect of such aggressive tactics. The administration's aggressive approach extends far beyond this single subpoena. In February 2025, just weeks after the Justice Department began its actions against Mayor Eric Adams, leading to numerous resignations within the Department of Justice, Mayor Adams announced the closure of a migrant intake center at the Roosevelt Hotel. This decision, while presented as a logistical necessity, can be interpreted as a concession to the relentless pressure exerted by the administration, a tacit acknowledgement of the power wielded by the federal government. This aggressive campaign against sanctuary cities is unfolding against a backdrop of escalating immigration enforcement nationwide. According to data from the Department of Homeland Security, February 2025 witnessed the highest number of immigration arrests in the last 7 years. The nation's immigration detention centers are operating at maximum capacity, housing a staggering 47,600 detainees, as confirmed by a senior U.S. immigration and customs enforcement official. This overwhelming capacity highlights the sheer scale of the administration's crackdown on immigration and underscores the human cost of its policies. The subpoena to the Manhattan Hotel is not merely a bureaucratic formality. It is a symbol of the larger struggle playing out across the nation. It's a stark reminder of the deep divisions that fracture our society and the ongoing battle over the very soul of American values. The demand for a list of aliens, a dehumanizing term that strips individuals of their dignity and reduces them to mere statistics, reveals the callous disregard for human rights at the heart of this administration's immigration policy. This is not just about numbers and statistics, it's about the human beings caught in the crosshairs of this political battle. It's about families torn apart, dreams shattered, and lives upended. It's about the erosion of trust in government and the growing fear that resonates through communities across the nation. The subpoena to the Manhattan Hotel is a stark reminder of the need for a humane and compassionate approach to immigration, an approach that prioritizes human dignity and upholds the principles of justice and fairness. The fight for sanctuary is far from over. It is a battle that will shape the future of our nation. The question is, will we choose compassion and justice, or will we succumb to fear and division?